Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Estate Uncensored's Marketing Roundtable. We are Gregless, but we are here for you. Today, we've got a very special show about automating your sales flow process, your funnels, and amplifying your social media game and advertising properly. So you're going to want to stick around for this, but before we get moving forward, here's our intro. That's a great intro, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is the backside of that intro. Automated sales process for your business. Why it is so damn important. And if you're not doing it, maybe you think you should. Nick, break it down for us. What in the hell are we talking about with an automated sales process, and why is this important for a business?
It's a real interesting word that agents are probably not too familiar with, but we're going to talk about funnels.
Oh.
And yeah, we love funnels. We love funnels as marketers. We love funnels because it's very focused. And I think as a whole, for the most part, you get your real estate license, your broker gives you a IDX website of some kind, and you go, okay, I'm here. Where are all the leads, right? So today, I think it's a really good idea now more than ever in the crazy world that we live in with TikToks and Instagram Reels and all the chaos that we have in our life pulled in 50,000 different directions, that it's more important now than ever to really focus your marketing on one thing, which is typically a funnel, one message to one customer at one time. Because if you send somebody, if you just like, hey, I'm in real estate, and hey, I cover all these different zip codes and I cover all these different counties, and if you want to buy a condo, I'm here. If you want to buy a single family home or retire 55 and up community, like, I can do everything. No one's going to remember who you are, what you do. So you got to be very specific and very focused. We talk about unique selling propositions all the time, but I want to dig into all that with you guys.
So Mark Spain, known as, I believe he took the #1 rank from a few different publications on real estate, has that one thing and a full automated sales process. What is the one thing that Mark Spain is telling everybody? Gino, do you know it?
He jumped all over the instant cash offer.
Instant offer.
Past 2 years.
Today. Yeah. He's all over billboards. He's all over AM radio. And he's pushing everybody back to a automated sales process. The funnel, his funnel, right? So what happens when traffic gets there? They get to that landing page. They've got a really good video explanation of the one thing that people can expect, right? Or his process. He gives them an opportunity to go further, schedule an appointment. And after they go ahead and schedule for their offer to see what they can obtain, he's got another video that basically says, hey, thank you. So these are automations that businesses of products and services utilize all the time, and they're very successful. So what are you doing, ladies and gentlemen, with your flow and automation? Gino, what's your take on all this?
This is throwing me for a loop. I mean, I just came on here to find out how to generate $1 real estate leads. So,
boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
This is what
typical Gino.
Typical. What's my take on it? I mean, look, we're moving towards more AI, right? I was in a warehouse the other day, and we were talking about these giant, Amazon warehouses where you can fire 14 people and have a robot move your inventory around inside the warehouse and put it on a pallet to be delivered to a truck, right? So like I was thinking about, we have a supermarket up here. I don't know if it's as far as down as you guys. It's called Giant Supermarkets. No. And they have this robot that rolls around the store. Its name is Marty. It's actually a female. Like when you go into a supermarket, you'll hear like, we need a cleanup in aisle 6.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this is the robot. When it gets to aisle 6 and it finds the cleanup need, it actually will broadcast over. So when you hear it, it's not a person, it's the robot. And one of the other things they say it does is that it's always in my way, right? Like no matter, I always turn around and I'm like, God damn it, Marty.
You slap Marty? Get out of here.
I'm going to knock him over one day, I promise.
Yeah.
if my wife didn't work for them as a pharmacist, I would have already done it 10 times, right? And I would be slapping stickers of my face on the front of it.
Yeah, dude.
But also what it's doing is it's actually riding the aisles and checking inventory, right? So like if it sees open space on a shelf, it knows what that product is. It's reporting it back. There's autopilot. That's automation, right? We're moving. Everybody in a space is moving towards. Well, I can't say it that way. I think as we progress through this, our systems are so intelligent, and our psychology behind the way people operate on a regular basis is so fast moving and fast paced. Like look at the back end of Facebook. That's why you're stuck on TikTok all the time, because of what they're doing to your brain. It's just going to be a place where people are going to have to get to in order to do the business they want to do. You could hire 64 people to do it, or you can have a process in place that makes it look like you have 64 people to do it.
Well, think of the cumbersome task of somebody sends you an email, or if a lead comes in, you get an email, and then you're going, what do I do with that? Right now, there's a lot of cumbersome tasks if you don't have good systems set up. In addition, if you have a good automated sales process set up, that's working for you at night. I have some processes that are set up for a few of my other businesses, and we see leads coming in 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 in the morning, because it's working on your behalf as well. So you want to take advantage of all hours of the day and have a system to follow. So what say you, Nick?
What's one thing that you can attach yourself and your business to? So you mentioned Mark Spain, right? He decided to pivot his whole business around the instant offer when he saw that iBuyers were coming in. When the open doors and offer pads and Knox and all of these platforms started to infiltrate his market, he said, hey, if I can't beat them, I'm going to join them. And now that's going to be my offer, because I know. So he piggybacked, right? In marketing, we don't need to create demand. In real estate, we don't need to create demand. People are buying and selling homes all the time. You just need to be in the right spot. You need to reach your hand up to where that traffic is already at and then capture it, right? So Mark Spain was very smart in the fact that he knew that these other companies were going to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a week, millions of dollars a year on advertising in his market with that message of instant cash offer. So now all of a sudden he just placed himself in a unique selling proposition that the market's already hearing from other brands. He's just going to happen to be the last one there, right? So like that's oftentimes when we talk about marketing. So here's a hack for you. If you know your competitors' brands, okay? So like let's say you want to do something real sneaky, and we do this with Gary V, right? When I was doing a lot more video production than I'm doing right now. But like it would be an advertisement of make your videos look like Gary V. Because what happens psychologically is if you're somebody on Google and you're typing in Gary V videos, a lot of times as a consumer, that is your last step. You've already made the decision that you like Gary V. You've already made the decision that you want your videos to be like Gary V. Now you're searching on something with purchase intent, not just a Google search, because you're looking for a reason to make your videos look like Gary V. And that's oftentimes the last thing that people will search before they buy something. So then my ad pops up of my video marketing service, advertise your business like Gary V. You can do the same thing in real estate, right? The instant cash offer, like, advertise, or it would be a scenario where you'd use Knock or somebody else's business name, and then right underneath it. So you'd be the last person before they go to OfferPad. Like your advertisement can come up there. Your YouTube ad could show up on OfferPad's website on their YouTube channel, right? Like that kind of psychology. But not to overwhelm you with crazy marketing nerd stuff. You need one offer. You need people to understand that I need to go to Nick for this one thing, or I need to go to Gene for this one thing, because that's how you cut through the noise. And while I love there's a lot of really good IDX portals out there. There's a lot of really good CRMs, from the Boomtowns to the Chime to KV Core. Like you get those portals as a real estate agent, and for the most part, you think that that's it, I'm done. Right? I don't need anything else. Like I got this huge fancy website. Like I just recently signed on with Chime again because of the real estate company that we associate ourselves with. It's a huge ecosystem. There's probably multi-million dollars in development with that portal, and it's a great portal. But it's built for the masses to come and search for homes, old school style marketing, right? We want a funnel. We want someone to see the message, Go to the page, know exactly what they're going to do when they click a button. That's another marketing hack. If you're advertising something to a consumer and they're confused about what it is, you're never going to get them to convert. People need to know exactly when I press this button and I'm getting ready to devote my time to whatever this next thing is. I need to know exactly what it is. And that's why I think the average landing page time right now on an IDX is like 20 seconds. Because people come onto an IDX page and they're like, oh my God, there's 25 neighborhoods to look at. There's 87 different buttons to click on this website. I have no idea what to do. So I'm bouncing, I'm gone. Whereas a really well-defined funnel, they get there, they see a message, there might be a video, there's one button to click. They know exactly what the button's going to do. I'm going to learn more about this one thing. And then all of a sudden they show up on your calendar as a booked appointment because they know exactly what's going on.
Let's talk about options. What happens when you give people too many options? They choke on them.
I have no idea what to do.
They choke on them. And you just gave a good example of that. So I look at those two things. Like, you know me, if you've been watching for the last 44 years, this show, you know my belief is you should be on every website you can be on. So the IDX piece of it is an important element because it's just another way for the Google crawl bots to find your name and associate you with real estate. It's not a bad thing. But you do need to know that when you do send a client there or they find you there, there's 42 other ways for them to find an agent, 62 places to find new homes. You're going to choke them with options. The funnel piece of it is me sticking you in a well and going, now get out, right? This is my well. It's clear it's my well. You're coming out either the top if you can escape, or you're giving me what I want at the bottom, and I'm going to have your information, right? So you're talking about something that's super specific versus they're both good, right? But you got to understand that, it's like I was joking about the dollar leads. I just love when companies are like, well, why do you charge so much money to generate leads? I can do them $1 a pop. And I'm like, your definition of a lead is different than mine, right? I'm not talking about phone calls that nobody's picking up the other end on. I could generate 8 million of those for you, right? That's easy. What I'm talking about is a $35 lead that, you're going to pay $35 for it. But on the other side of it is going to be somebody going, no, I want to sell my house and I don't have an agent yet, right? Like there's two different definitions and they're both good because in my world, even the dollar leads are still seeing your logo. Like there's something to be said about that stuff. That's not our target when you spend money, but there's still some ancillary, or as Sarge would say, collateral damage that we're getting from our people that are seeing our brand. That's a good thing, but it's not ultimately what we want. So same thing here, the IDX that your brokerage is giving you for free. It's a good thing. I'm not shitting on it. You got to have it, right? Like you should have it. The more, the better. But you have to understand also that when you say to me, no, I have the IDX, people will call me from that. I'm going to go, okay, but more people won't than will, right? You might get some lucky one day, but for the most part, they're not.
That might be the one other call to action on a automated sales flow that I would suggest putting in, right? So if I have a nice landing page set where I can clearly tell these people who I am, what they can expect, how to go ahead and book an appointment with me, that's one option. The other option might be click here to go ahead and search available listings in my area. But that's after I've already pushed those people directly to a place where I've given them the information that I wanted them to see. They already got an introduction to me. There was a video on the page. They understand, what to expect if engaging me for anything. So that might be the other option in real estate that I would suggest on any of these things. Now, however,
sorry.
Yeah, Nick. So my whole thing here is this, right? If we're going to focus on amplifying our social media, that puts more brand awareness of us out there. We still need a place for all of those folks to come back to hit that automated sales flow and understand how to do business. And if we're going to do any paid advertising, we need a place to go ahead and send all these people back so that they can understand who I am, what I do, and what to expect by doing business with me, right? So is that the right way to think of it?
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what I was going to piggyback, right? So there's nothing wrong with an IDX page, but an IDX page, essentially, I would consider a mid-funnel approach. And what I mean by that is there's not inherently a lot of value in an IDX feed anymore because Zillow has changed that game for everybody. It used to be, before Zillow was really relevant, and even, up to 5 years ago, an agent could still claim like our IDX feeds were faster and we would update every 15 minutes where Zillow would update every 24 hours before Zillow was a brokerage and got the direct feed. So there was a slight nudge to a Zillow 5 years ago that's not there now. So inherently an IDX portal is not valuable to the customer. But that being said, if that customer already knows, likes, and trusts you, you've already established that you have a unique selling proposition, and that's how they came into your funnel, then they already like you. So now they're searching for homes on your portal because now they've committed to you and they know, hey, I don't want to click another advertisement from another agent and get 20 different phone calls from other people or go on Zillow. I trust Nick because we've already met. And now I'm in this mid-funnel kind of, we've already met each other. I understand what he does. And I'm just going to use his platform until I'm ready to absolutely convert to a booked appointment to say, hey, let's go see this house. So if you look at it from that perspective, when we're talking about clearing the clutter from a branding, very top of funnel, before anybody even knows who you are, advertising that IDX feed is not necessarily going to win you any business. That being said, on the flip side of that, you can use your IDX, and we do this now. We currently do it. It's worked forever. If you curate different lists for people based on your IDX data, that's going one step above just sending somebody to your landing page. So if you wanted to niche down and say your thing is this one specific community, and you wanted to be known that you know everything about all the golf courses in your area, you could then advertise that you're the agent that knows about golf courses. You love to play golf. You're doing short form video about you playing golf on the weekends with your friends. And now when somebody comes into your world, I got to talk to Jake because Jake knows everything about this golfing community. And when I land on when I go through his funnel, it's the most recent homes for sale in X community on the golf course. And that's the entry level. It's a curated list. I've taken my time as a broker to curate this list for somebody that's very hyper specific, and then they come into the funnel that way as far as a buying side, right? So it's very specific, and then they might want to search around on their own before they book an appointment to go see the house. So at the end of the day, that alleviates the confusion. I like to play golf. I saw this list from Nick. He's the golf course guy because I've seen some of his videos. I'm going to go ahead and opt into his funnel. Maybe I'll end up in an appointment. Maybe we'll play some golf together and I'll buy a house with him.
Dare I extend that into marketing?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I think that's a great idea. I always talk to people about my habits, right? As a home buyer, if I was in the market, I'm going to let you guys guess. You've known me for a long time. What's going to be the most important part of a house for your boy?
The kitchen.
You nailed it, brother.
I was going a different way, but
you were going the dirty route.
I was going basement. I was going the dungeon.
Well, listen, the dungeon's important too, but no, for sure, the kitchen's always the most important part. That's where 90% of the time my family is together, right?
Yeah.
So I always said, when I tell people, I go, why wouldn't you do a kitchen tour? Like, for people that's important for, like, I would go around. It doesn't even have to be your listing. Check out these 5 beautiful kitchens that just hit the market, right? The golf course is a great one. And guess what? All you got to do is create 30-second TikTok videos and talk about look. We're on the golf course. Imagine living in this home and you could walk right out with your golf bag. And blah, blah, blah. You can extend those things from the IDX into TikTok videos. That's where I was thinking when you gave that golf thing, and I'm thinking about the kitchen thing.
I love all of these different social amplification strategies, right? There's so much cool stuff in your marketplace, things to talk about, different angles, things to do. That's amazing to go ahead and be active and get engaged. One of the things I see that's so mission critical to everybody's business is like a missed optimization of your systems. So you can do all of those cool social amplifications, and you can do a lot of paid advertising with parts of those things that you're sharing anyway. You're just putting some money behind it. But if you don't have this automated place of the core heartbeat home of your business to go ahead and say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and here's that one thing. So if you have a unique selling proposition in any sort or fashion, that's got to be there inside that funnel on home base with a call to action for your consumer. Because if you're doing and investing all of these a lot of time into these strategies outside of what I consider the core of your heartbeat of your house, your business, you're misoptimized. And those systems are so critical. You want people to be able to hear you, see you, like all of your stuff, and a way to get to you at 2:00 in the morning. And we see a lot of leads coming in late night, All right. Because people get so busy throughout the day. They're busy with their families, things like that. After dinner, everybody's getting wound down. Now the kids are back at school. And what do people do in the evenings? A lot of us will jump on to our social feeds and scroll some social, check out some different things. And if something there at that 10 o'clock hour excites me about getting engaged with your business, you need to have the opportunity for them to get there. So if you don't have those systems set up, it's something that you critically need to be thinking about.
You're here.
Nick? Yeah, good. So amplification of social media, right? I say the step one for business success is to make sure that sales flow is set up and you're in a position to receive. Then we get into amplification of social and advertising, right? Advertising works. Some of the best real estate teams and best businesses right now, even in a market that's kind of awkward, right? That's where we're at. We're in an awkward market. Nobody really knows the direction of things to come, but the best of the best double down on advertising.
Yeah.
So break this down for us, Nick. Amplification of social media and advertising.
Right now, it's really people's BS radar is up really high. We've talked about this before. We used to say 80-20 rule. 80% of your content should be just localized stuff about, things that are going on in your market, not necessarily actual real estate information. 20% should be real estate information. Then a couple years ago, I started saying that 80-20 was more like 90-10. Now it's more like 95-5. I think you should have a good call to action on your videos. But at the same time, man, if you're just coming on and like, so you've made the decision. So step one is like, okay, I know I need to market my business. And I like social media and like pick your platform. If it's Facebook, if it's LinkedIn, if it's TikTok, if it's Instagram, whatever, like, okay, so I've made the conscious decision in my mind. I'm going to start putting myself out there more. Then you start posting stuff. But everything, the kids would say you're really thirsty. And so everything that you post looks like I want to sell something. And people see that, right? So instead of just thinking about creating a community and sharing your life with social media, I have an immediate ROI thought process. I post this one thing, I should get one sale back. I post this one thing, I should get one customer back. If you have that approach to where every time you post something, you have this sense of, I have to see an ROI, you're never going to win on social media. So what it comes down to right now is legitimately, if you don't have a ridiculous offer that is so magnetic that you can be that asshole and just plow through, like we'll say Freedom Move USA is that offer. You could go on every single day and talk about save $25,000 on your moving expenses. It is what it is. There's a guy in Houston, this Mattress Mac guy. I just watched a documentary about him. He owns one of the biggest furniture stores in Texas. Like, his call to action was, Mattress Mac will save you money. You want to go watch a documentary? There's a documentary about him. That's all he did. All his content was like, I'll save you money. Come to my store. He pounded that in people's heads. You could do that with the Freedom Move USA. I could save you up to $25,000. But all the other stuff is ancillary. Like, you could have a fun call to action and be yourself and share your life, your kids at T-ball or fishing or whatever. But don't forget, I could save you money, right? It still goes back to that one thing. So if you have that kind of polarizing, unique selling proposition, you could put that in all your content. If you don't have that and you're just a regular agent, you don't have a unique selling proposition, and you're just documenting your life, you can't do all the regular real estate stuff and the same kind of home valuation. Or like, I see so many agents right now that are on TikTok talking about the world isn't ending, you should still buy a house. You don't know that, right? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So like, trying to encourage people that yes, you should buy a house right now because of what we think is going to happen. I don't like that, right? Let me help you save some money. Come into my world. I can help you if you make this decision. If you need to move, it's a totally different frame, right?
If you're thinking now is a good time to move, or if you have to move, give me a call first. Let me know. Let me help save you this kind of money. It's going to go a long way.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as far as your content goes, just don't be a boring realtor. I don't know how else to, like, it's really hard. It's really hard. Nobody cares about how many things you sold. Nobody cares about how many houses in your neighborhood, how many awards you got. Like, the more you can make your content about people, other people, the market, localized market, and the less about you, you're just the facilitator of content. Like, nothing should be about you. You should really focus how many times you say I versus you in your content. If you find yourself saying I all the time, I this and I that, you might have some problems. You're probably not going to have a lot of followers.
I wonder if somebody would ever consider labeling themselves as the boring realtor and then putting a whole bunch of boring shit out there just for
That
the
could be
fun of
good
it.
too. I like that.
If you're going to do it, own it, ladies and gentlemen. Gino, I know you're short time. You have any final thoughts before you have to jump off the show?
No, I think this was a really good jog down a funnel. When we're together, I think there's always some good nuggets you could pull from it, and I don't think this show was any different. So it was good seeing your handsome faces again.
Good deal. Say hello to everybody on your side of the house for us.
Likewise.
See you, buddy.
boys.
We'll see you next go around, Gino.
Later.
That was Gene Volpe, everybody. The man, the myth, the legend.
Creating his own funnel.
Yeah, he's out there working it. He's doing it. So today we wanted to make sure that we shared the importance of a automated sales process for your business. And it is critical. Everybody knows the word funnel at this point, I think. And if not, do a little bit of YouTube searching. But every industry should have some type of automated sales process for their business, service and product related. Real estate is no different at all whatsoever. People need to know who you are, what to expect, and you need to give them that call to action in an automated way so that they can get in contact with you, right? So break down some of the elements of the funnel for us, Mr. Nick. I know there's, break it down. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so it all starts with the unique selling proposition on the landing page, right? So from advertisement, so we're advertising the same thing. The same exact verbiage that's on the ad should be on your landing page. So if you're advertising one thing here, when they go to the landing page, it should say the exact same thing. The idea of the funnel is calming the nerves. It's restricting the options and giving people one thing to focus on, right? So the funnel, and in the real estate space, you could see, maybe download my e-guide, top 10 things to do before you sell your home, or how to sell your home for free without a real estate agent. And you just give your whole blueprint away. Like, that's a very specific thing that people are going to click on. So that's your funnel. Now, once they click, what happens? Where do they go after that? Do they go to a thank you page? Is that thank you page if you'd like more information, if you'd like to jump to the front of the line before you get this thing, you can book an appointment with me on my calendar. Do you even have an online calendar, right? Can somebody book an appointment with you without you going back and forth on email 20 times to say, I'm available at this time. Are you available at that time? Right? That's not automation. So a lead, somebody should be able to come into your world, click the button, at the very least, get put into your CRM and tag that one specific thing, so that now that they're in there, now they're going through an automated process of text messaging and email, maybe some voicemail drops that you pre-record for that one specific thing. Do they have access to your calendar to book an appointment? That's very basic level automation. If they don't respond to that in a 24 to 48 hour period, what happens next? How many emails and texts are going on after the fact? Is there any human rollover? Is there a 5-minute speed to lead with any calling assistants that are happening on your behalf while you're out showing appointments, or even speed to lead texting, because texting is still 85% of communication? Is that happening on the back end of your business? If so, like Jake said, if somebody comes in at 2:00 in the morning, what happens? You're not there, you're asleep. A lot of people. So here's another controversial thing. If somebody comes in at 2:00 in the morning, a lot of default settings on CRMs will be wait till the next day. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. If somebody comes in at 2:00 in the morning, they're there, they're live right now. We might not have calling assistants call these people at 2:00 in the morning, but we're damn sure following up with text message. Mm-hmm. Would you like to continue this conversation in the morning?
Or even to let them know what your hours of operation are, and that we will contact you first thing in the morning.
But the general idea here is you take a bunch of people that don't know you, you filter them through these things, the funnel, right? They go to your landing page, they like the landing page, they like the offer, they enter their information. Now they're getting communicated with through text message and email or human rollover. If they don't respond to that, how long of a period is it going to happen until another trigger, another opportunity for them? What's the follow-up sequence? And then what's the nurture? Right? So all those things happen. And then if you want to amplify it even more, what are all those key points in advertising as well? So if somebody's on the 2-week nurture, they might have opted in the beginning, but you never got on the phone with them. What ads are being deployed on the back end? What kind of audience segmentation is happening on the advertising? They're not going to see the same ads as they were in the beginning. So there's a whole recipe behind all of this, but at a very base level, the main reason I think Jake brought this up, or we wanted to talk about this idea, this concept of marketing, is very focused. We are unfocused by nature. Social media has made us even more unfocused than we've ever been. Jake mentioned the Mark Spain aspect. Every top real estate team that you've heard of has got at least one very unique selling proposition, if not 2 or 3 in their market. I promise you. There's not one team selling 100 transactions plus a year that doesn't have a unique selling proposition. I've never seen it.
Yep.
They're not just out here going, oh, well, yeah, we have an IDX page and we run some buyer leads and some seller lead ad, home valuation stuff. And well, we did 100 homes last year. That's all we do. No, it's what's your offer? Is it a fix and list? Is it, like, what is it? There's something very specific that when people hear it and they're in that mind frame of real estate, they go, oh, that sounds interesting. I should call Jake. I don't have any cash to put new countertops in my home. Oh, your team does that. You actually give us a $25,000 budget to paint the house and put new flooring, and so we can maximize our listing potential. I've never heard a real estate agent do that. I got to call Jake and do it. Like, it's that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff's going to be more valuable now, which is why we talk about this now too, as this market shifts. We've had this bonkers market for the past 2 years where you could sneeze and get 25 offers. That's not going to happen anymore, right? That's starting to dwindle. So you actually have to do some marketing and do some work as an agent.
I think, well, people they're very focused now on their money, especially with a lot of the inflationary pressures that we've all gone through over the last handful of months. Their purchasing decisions are definitely changing. The amount of distance people are traveling for even just casual, accommodations for themselves on the weekends are shortening up, maybe the little bit extra spending. So as we start getting into an awkward marketplace we don't really know the direction that it's going to go, but it is definitely awkward right now. It's changing. Yeah. This is where you need to be critical on those types of propositions that you can go ahead and put in front of prospective customers. So what makes people make big moves towards you versus your competitor is going to come into what type of financial benefit or personal benefit that you can go ahead and give to those folks. And, we're here, ladies and gentlemen, to bless you guys and the whole Real Estate Uncensored community that has been following this brand and Greg and everybody else. And we wanted to bring this up to you guys today. So if you don't have an automated sales process in place, you should be doing it, thinking about it. If you need assistance with it, get in touch with Nick, get in touch with us over at Clever Leads. We can help point you guys in the right direction. But we do feel that it's the glue, right? It's a really good centerpiece. It's a foundational cornerstone of your business success. It's going to help automate the process for you. So less weight on your shoulders and gives you more time to go ahead and do other things. And if you're going to get involved in social brand awareness, get involved in advertising, it's really going to help with your conversion. It's going to help with your brand identity, and it's really going to help with customers getting an opportunity to know who you are and what to do and take those next steps. So
it's the only way to get conversion. If you have not been successful with Facebook ads or any type of advertising before, I promise you it's because you weren't focused on the message that you were sending people.
Yeah, for sure. Or if your advertising message might have been okay enough to go ahead and drive some awareness, when they're clicking through and all of a sudden they hit what should be your automated sales flow, your funnels, and it's just a bland blob, a website, or a old broke down IDX kind of a scenario, then you did a really good job on the first part of the relay race. But there obviously is a second step that's so critical.
Yeah. And there's a lot of automated kind of AI softwares now, or like, you know, these big CRM companies will have like, oh, push button ads. Just push this button and it's an ad. And I, even from these multi-million-dollar companies, I see fragmented funnels where you could take the easy route, right? And say, I got $20, I want to promote this listing. And then you hit the button and you think everything's taken care of. And the landing page that they're sending people to is not a dedicated listing. It'll still be fragmented. And this is from the company that you think would have it all under control. It's still fragmented and not proper. So, yeah, be cautious who you're hiring to do your marketing. It is a balance. If it's something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Unless it's Free to Move USA, that's absolutely true. I promise you, we're kicking ass over there right now. So, and all of our agents are seeing huge benefit right now. So, you should probably check that out. But yeah, be focused. Have one singular message and run with it. I love the Dolphins realtor said, I'm 98% Miami Dolphins and 2% business.
Yeah,
dude, that's perfect. Right? Like I absolutely love that. Get a free Miami Dolphins jersey every time you buy or sell a home. Right? I like it's stuff like that. You're gonna the magnetic and when you have something like that, when you can be that guy or that girl, the customers that you attract are going to be your friends. It'd be people that you'd want to have a beer with at a bar. Like it makes your life so much easier because you're just attracting people who you would normally be friends with and not have to deal with pains in the ass because you're just sharing what you are about, right? If you're a golfer, and yeah, it makes life so much easier as an agent.
One of my clients years ago finally got her whole sales automation process set up, right? So that if anybody anyhow got to that website, she knew and was very comfortable with that whole process. She put in the work, knew exactly what she was going to say, had a good unique selling proposition offer, had the good call to action there. There was a follow-up page with a nice video talking to these people after they went ahead and opted in for an appointment on what those next steps were and how she was excited to go ahead and get in contact with them. There was even some email flows that started to go ahead and go out. She loved it. And it was a great process. So much so that she went in and came to me and said, hey, Mr. Wolfe, I just love handing out business cards now to everybody. And I'll just casually say, hey, go to my website and check it out. It's really awesome. It'll get you filled in. And she just was handing out business cards like candy because she felt really comfortable knowing that if those people took that step and went to her website, what they were going to receive when they got there.
Mm-hmm.
She put in that work and it was an automated flow. On top of that, her advertising was rocking. Awesome. Her retargeting advertising was rocking. Awesome. And it just works.
Yeah.
Right. So, what I like about it is you can go ahead and put in the work, put in the time and energy to do this right so that you can represent your company very well. But then all things lead back to it, right? That's home base.
Where like right now, one of the most popular, so ClickFunnels has been around forever, right? But it more recently because of TikTok and Instagram and these other platforms that are out there, you've heard of Linktree. Linktree kind of came out of nowhere the past couple of years. That's like the epitome of a free funnel, a place where you can, it's like your online business card. You can have different links. So if you wanted to check out, like if you go to someone's Instagram and you click that button and it goes to a Linktree page is a funnel page. And it's got, we talk about being more focused and having one button. When you actually run paid traffic, you should have one button click because you're very focused. I wouldn't send paid traffic to a Linktree. But as far as being organic, like if you go to nicksakkis.com, it's not Linktree. I built the funnel myself and I replicate those funnels for my customers. But like it has buttons. So you land on the page. It's very calm. There's not a lot of stuff. And you know exactly which button you want to click. If you want to save up to $25,000 on your move, you click that. You go to sakkisgroup.com where we can help you move to Tampa Bay or outside of Tampa Bay and save up to $25,000. If you wanted to revamp your real estate business and join us at Free to Move USA, you can click the button, right? If you wanted to book me as a guest on your podcast, you click that button. You go right to my booking page, right? If you want to listen to Real Estate Uncensored, you click that button. I take you right to the Real Estate Uncensored page. It's very focused, and somebody knows when they land on it and they click that button. So the same way, if you have social media right now and you don't have a Linktree style thing, you probably should. You probably should have that landing page so that it's one URL. And when they go there, maybe your call to action is, I buy your house cash. And they click that and it goes to a specific landing page on your website. Or search for homes in this specific area, golf course communities. They click that button, it goes right to a search on your IDX page. So it's just one level above sending somebody to a giant bloated website.
These automated systems are so critical. They're so critical. And I've said it multiple times. Maybe you guys that are watching have heard me. That sales process, that funnel, that website with those funnel options embedded into it is like the restaurant, right? If you're going to spend a lot of time with brand awareness and advertising, driving people to your restaurant, and they walk in that door and there's nothing there for them to consume or to carry, it's like not having any food to serve them. So that's how critical it is. And it will benefit your life. So if you don't know how to do this or have questions about it, I know Nick is phenomenal with this side of the house. Can go ahead and get it set up for you guys, and you'll be rocking and rolling. So any final takeaways, Nick, before we go ahead and close it out?
Be focused, be more focused, and you got to slow down to speed up. So if you feel like you're constantly running 25,000 different directions and just taking any business you can, like it take an hour a day until you figure it out. Take an hour a day to just sit down and go, okay, what's my one thing? What's my offer? What's my one thing that I can go to the market? What's one thing that I can put on all my calls to action for my videos so that I can start streamlining all this stress and anxiety of, I don't know where my next deal is going to come from. You don't know where your next deal is going to come from because you're not focused. You're just taking everything that you can, right? Referral, this, that, like you got to streamline everything into a funnel and have one consistent message, and people will just come to you. Like it's, if you build it, they will come. It happens.
Yeah. So if you're doing social, if you're doing advertising, don't water that down. Make sure that these people have got a good place to go and good position to receive. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this was your Wednesday Real Estate Uncensored Marketing Roundtable. We are streaming on the REU Nation network. So go to reunation.com. Check us out over there. Enter your information for any show notes, any updates, hot insider news. And until next time, be blessed and unstoppable. Thank you, Mr. Nick. We'll see you guys next
buddy.
go around.